Hey all, welcome to Filmsuck, a Patreon podcast in which we ponder the work of art in the age of crap cinema and television. I'm Eileen Jones,
I'm Dolores McElroy.
and today we're taking on the phenomena of made-for-TV Christmas movies, including, of course, the most famous Hallmark Christmas movies. But we have a mini variety. We're looking specifically at a SHOE Addict's Christmas as the Hallmark example, but also a Very Married Christmas, which is, what is that again?
2004 movie with starring Joe Mantegna and Jean Smart.
And it's not Hallmark, it's what?
ABC, CBS.
CBS, okay. And then Snow Globe is
ABC Family.
ABC Family. Wow. So there's a wide variety of these things.
Truly is.
Anyway, I have a number of friends who watch certainly Hallmark, but probably a variety, and have urged me to get on this crowded train of fans. I've never been able to goad myself into it until now. So, a Shoe Addict's Christmas is the first one of these I've ever seen. So I'm going to have the total newbie reactions. Yeah.
Fascinating. It departs from the form in several significant ways.
Oh, good. So you're going to be able to talk extensively about the form. This is ideal. Yeah. Okay. Let me just we'll start with that one, and I'll quickly do the summary. It stars Candace Cameron Bure as Noelle, a 30-something woman working at a department store in what was supposed to be a temp job. To get her through a tough time when she had to get over losing both her fiance and her photography job that she went on jobs with him, so it was all through him. But 3 years have passed, and she's still in retail. Though she's doing well enough that her wealthy boss has put her in charge of designing the Christmas gala fundraiser at the store. Unaware that she's lost both her creative and romantic mojo, Noelle carries on working and accidentally gets locked in the store after hours on Christmas Eve. There she receives a visit from her daffy guardian angel named Charlie, played by Jean Smart, who helps her reconnect with, her widowed father, Dan Wilmot, rediscover her ambition to be a photographer with her own studio, and revive her love life with a handsome fireman named Jake, who's played by Luke McFarlane. He lives upstairs in her apartment building and is also somehow assigned to work on this gala as a fireman. I don't know why. And so he happens to have some quote unquote fun ideas for the gala fundraiser. Before we start discussing any of these movies, please note, as usual, there will be spoilers. We are not respecting the endings of these movies, so you don't want them spoiled. And by the way, they're so popular that if you go to look up like a Shoe Addict's Christmas, it comes up like immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought I was going to have to painfully type the whole thing out. No. So these are very, very popular favorite movies. So let's just start with that one. Dolores, what's your reaction?
Okay, well, I adore a Shoe Addict's Christmas. It's profoundly disturbing, but I've seen it maybe like 3 or 4 times now.
Oh my God.
And it's okay, so the charm of these things for, I would say, the average viewer is that they're comforting. You know exactly where they're going, and like all Christmas movies, or like most Christmas movies, they affirm family as the ultimate value, right? I love them in an avant-garde way. I read against the grain.
Glad to know that's possible.
And the 3 movies I chose, Shoe Addict's Christmas chief among them, all share in common that there is like a heavy, literal, hallucinatory element to all of these. Candace Cameron sees a guardian angel, played by Jean Smart, which is also the form that my guardian angel takes. And she has a kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge ability to go visit Christmas past and future if she puts on a certain pair of shoes. We'll get to Snow Globe. And I gotta say, a Shoe Addict's Christmas, it's also enjoyable for Candace Cameron's profoundly disturbing acting style.
Oh dear God.
She is such a freak. You all might remember her as the oldest sister on Family Ties, the like quintessential like 80s, 90s
Oh,
sitcom.
is that? I wondered where I'd seen her. Oh my god.
And her brother's Kirk Cameron,
Yeah.
who used to be another lead in another sitcom that I used to watch, but I forgot the name. It's real famous.
Mm.
Um, and they are known in Hollywood for being they're super Christian. And Hallmark, of course, like I don't know if the company itself is really Christian, but it certainly like caters to and its ideology dovetails with this community. And
Yeah.
I mean like white American Christianity, like whiter than white. This, and out of all three I watch, A Shoe Addict's Christmas is by far the whitest. And it's because of Candace Cameron and her performance, which like even though it's so the world of the film is so odd, it's made odder by she's got this like there's something about the shape of her eyes that's like she's like perpetually terrified, which is also how I feel when I encounter this world. And it's like there's like the greatest Hollywood sort of like in the tradition of Minnelli,
Mhm,
there's like a darkness that gets kicked up in most of these films. In the
mhm,
case of A Shoe Addict Christmas, Candace Cameron's mother has recently passed, and her relationship with her father is like cordial, not uncaring, but they're not connecting.
mm. Yeah.
And so this this gets solved by the end. But her just like terrified eyeballs, kind of like where all the inability to feel actual feelings like go. Um, she's got three expressions. One is like kind of like, did I do well? Um,
Mm,
another is dare I hope? And a third is like, I'm so warm, like just like warm and caring. And they're all bullshit and they're all just like cycled through. It's a lot like Lana Turner in Douglas
mm,
Sirk, right?
mhm,
With like far less sex appeal.
mm, mm.
Fascinating cocktail. And then, as one reviewer wrote on Letterboxd, Jean Smart, we're gonna get you out of here.
She's been held hostage. It really is like, what happened? Who's got the photos that forced her to do this? Jesus Christ.
This is another part, like another my favorite. To me, the most enjoyable part of any Hallmark movie is the has-been that you will find like in the supporting role. So I looked up these three films because I love Jean Smart. She's in two of them, and Lorraine Bracco plays the mom in Snow Globe.
Oh
So
god.
you need your like woman on the downturn of her career, but like still a pro cameo, or supporting character.
Yeah.
Um, which is what makes this truly worth your while. So this was before Jean Smart had her HBO renaissance, and I
Yeah.
think she's like in her early 60s. And like this is what could have been, this is the maybe this is one of the ghosts of Christmas future for Jean Smart. But thankfully, she chose wisely. She put on the right pair of shoes, and
Mhm.
she ended up winning 4 Emmys
Yeah.
um, as, as Deborah Vance. She didn't end up in all of the. Well, she certainly did her time
Did
in
her
Hollywood.
time. Yeah.
But anyways, so that is the beginning of that's a surface layer of my appreciation for A Shoe Addict's Christmas.
Uh,
What did you think, Eileen?
um, I just found it shocking. Just shocking. I, even though I should have known, of course, I must have seen glimpses of these and ads for these. So what else could it be? I don't know why I found it shocking. I just couldn't settle. I mean, because of course I've had my friends say, "Oh, you gotta," we all watch these things. I mean, like everybody watches these things. Eileen, where have you been? And I've always sort of said, "Oh yeah, I'll come over sometime and we'll do a marathon." And it just never happened. And I just sat there just going, and all those words, like, oh, it's comforting, and it's so it's all, and everyone knows that the same plots get recycled just aggressively over and over, and so you don't have to be attentively watching. You can if you want, but I mean, they can also just kind of roll in the background, and I just couldn't get any sense of the comfort. I mean, I had the terror experience, or the everything is so irritating that it just drives you to a kind of mania. If you can't, it was like it was anti-absorbent. I couldn't just let it just go. The look of the thing is so maddening. Everything looks and I kept struggling to, like, what does it look like? It doesn't look like a soap opera. It looks like, maybe advertising?
Yeah, like
I
IKEA.
think it
There's
looks like yeah,
something.
store advertising.
Mhm.
It doesn't have shadows. It's
It's true.
everything is overly brightly lit and hyper present, so it all seems to come forward at you like product. And
100%.
and it's unrelenting, it just goes on.
Yes.
And, so and a constant emphasis again, I'm only talking about this one Shoe Addicts one, so maybe they're not all like this, but
No, they're all like that.
they're all like that. So it's all, like, about the new clothes and the new the shoes is especially a thing, so she has to keep putting on different shoes that allow her to take different journeys into the past, the future, whatever the hell, and
Mhm.
they're all, like, spikes. I think there's one pair of little boots, but they're, like, adorable little suede boots, there's nothing clodhoppery. You never gonna just put on a pair of sneakers. They've all gotta be fantasy shoes of a brightness that you're just like, there's a big gold pair that you're just like, "Oh, really?" Um, but everything like this. So there's a dress on a mannequin that she wants, and there's just like but it's just product. So, of course, set in a store is perfect, so everything can just be, like, assailing
Yeah.
your eyes, and you just long for I just never longed for shadow so much in my entire life. Just like, "Please have some shadow." I guess you don't get locked in at night one night, but somehow
Mhm.
just doesn't even have it's trying for something depthless
Yes.
and flatly present to the eye. So you can see this synthetic everywhere. It's like those early days many years ago when I was first being shown HD TVs and everyone said the same thing, like, "Oh my god, you can see more than you want to see."
Yes.
Now suddenly all the costumes look cheap and you can see the makeup on the face and you can see more than you so poor Jean Smart is wearing this kind of I don't even know what color to call the wig she's got, strawberry blonde
Gray. It's
or
like
gray. Oh,
gray,
is it gray?
red, gray. I don't
I
know
thought
how
it was supposed to be red. I don't know what I was looking at then. But anyway,
indifferent.
it's so fake looking that you're just like, is the point that it's fake? Why does it need to be that fake, and why can't they just use her hair? I'm just what? The smile of of what's her face, Cameron, what's her
Candace
face?
Cameron.
Cameron, what yeah, is so white. She's teeth whitened to a point that's mad. So you're going from the terrified eyes to the white teeth. They're just like, "Nyeh." So I just couldn't seem to settle it, or it took most of the movie for me to finally just eye adjust to this thing and calm myself and just be like, "Let it happen, I think. Just let it happen to you." And, of course, there's poor Jean Smart who cannot help
But
giving so much better and more detailed a performance. That it's just like she's really from another planet in this movie. You're just like, "Okay." Trying to reconcile her performance style with Christine Cameron, with that firefighter.
it's
He's not even an actor. I don't know what he is. He's some guy. He's like a catalog an underwear model or something. They
yeah.
said, "Hey, you. Come in here. You don't matter much. You're just supposed to be good looking."
Mhm.
But they're supposed to have screwballish comedy scenes where the 2 of them meet. And I keep forgetting her damn name. What's her name? Oh, Noelle. It's Christmassy. It's supposed to be Christmas. Noelle meets
Yes.
this guy, and it's it's like it really is Brechtian. It's just like they're trying to have it not work, and I'm like, it's such a cliche,
Yes.
tripping over each other. I can't even remember what all the stuff is that's
That's
supposed to be like, so that they're initially she's very annoyed by him,
it. Mhm.
because he can't do anything right because he's all clumsy, and it just the way it doesn't work is fascinating. You're just like, "No one can be this bad at this. I could do this better
Yeah.
than you, and I'm no actor by any means either." But so, like, again, the it not working seems almost intentional. Like, that can't be right. It can't be. But you find yourself trying to figure out what's
Like, what are
happening.
they aiming for?
What were they going for? I
Yeah.
mean, children could do a better anyone could do a better job at, like, tripping and flailing and being so bad that yes, he's truly fascinating. He can't deliver lines. He's so hopeless. You're just like, "You poor fellow. I begin to feel sorry for you. Why are they torturing you in this way?"
he is just like a cardboard cutout of a character in a
Yeah.
function,
Yeah, he's gotta have the square jaw and the lean line. He's just supposed to be the handsome fireman come to life who can fulfill
Yeah.
the fantasy.
Yeah.
And she's always having these fantasy, or these, I guess they're trips to the past or trips to the possible future, where she's just about to see that somebody does the "Hi, honey, I'm home," and she's just about to see who the fantasy husband is. And I forget why she becomes convinced it's not him, or it
Uh-huh.
might not be him, or something or other. And of course, you're sitting there going, "Of course it's him."
Yeah.
Why are we even pretending it's not him? It's going to be him. He's the only guy. There's not a rival guy. So you're like, what?
There's a device where like she knows she's has another male acquaintance, and he walks in the door,
Oh
but
yeah, that's
she
right.
lives the fantasy through. Yeah, her male acquaintance walks in the door first, but fireman husband follows him. They're like
Yeah,
they've been out and they're joking, and they
yeah, yeah.
come to her home.
But since again the acquaintance never has anything like the heft of scenes, or it's not him. So
Yeah.
it's just a gesture towards something, but you're not even going to try to fulfill the gesture. You're just going to gesture. Like, this would happen in a plot if we were going to do that plot. But we're not really going to do it. This just stands for the plot, but you know the plot, so it's okay, right?
That's exactly
Like,
right.
okay.
That's exactly right.
And it just, it all goes on like that. Like, you already know, so we can just sort of indicate this is what would happen. And the same scenario happens over and over
Yes.
too. So even though and there's these kind of gestures toward that don't fulfill what the scene would be, you'll get the interlude with the father over like several times, and it doesn't change.
It's because they know that you're like wrapping gifts while
Yeah,
you're
I think that's it.
hot
You're
dog.
not, we're not really watching this, so we're just going to remind you again about the father. And then the only different one will be the scene where everything's fixed with the father, and then they really connect. And
Yes.
you're like, okay.
Yes.
I can't remember what makes them connect now. There's something.
Okay.
She's just changing because of her experiences, and makes a point. She's being told by her fairy godmother that they're not connecting. So she says, let's connect. Let's talk, Dad.
Chocolate with him.
Yeah.
And that opens her up to love. It makes her ready to have someone in her life.
Yeah.
It's a series of decisions, you see.
Yes.
When
She doesn't know. And they do something. Who was the guy who said that it's actually Kierkegaard, I think, who's the guy who says the worst thing that can happen to you is you don't know how sick you are, because then you can't address it. So it was almost, I was like, oh, they're doing Kierkegaard here. She doesn't know. She has no idea that there's anything wrong with her. Because, she's doing well at the store and so on. And, she goes along fine. It's not like she's huddled up, drinking wine and being depressed and in ugly pajamas. She's not doing a Bridget Jones on the sofa thing, glugging from the bottle. It all seems fine. So she has to be told by the fairy godmother, you think it's fine, but it's not fine. So I was just like, oh, this is almost interesting that she doesn't know. But that's it. There's nothing more. I think they just didn't want the sordidness of having her glugging wine from the bottle.
No, I'm with you. That's a shocking, that's really the crux of the film, is that there's a shocking sequence, only shocking for its spoken content, when Jean Smart is explaining, she says, maybe God doesn't want us to be comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, this undermines the whole premise of the Hallmark movie.
It does. I remember being shocked by that too, going, wow, I didn't think she was going to say that. That was like one of the few times where I was like, yeah, that seemed to come out of left field.
Crack in the system, because of course then all it's going to do is serve to reinforce everything that comforts you, every ideology at the end about family. Of course, all of these films the reason the men are so wooden is because the films are about women and their lives and women's relationship to family, because holiday is about family in American culture,
Right.
But all of this is, the reason it's interesting is the reason so many women's films are interesting too. It's that the contradictions are really actually
right
and like hyper legible sometimes. And it's kind of remarkable that the movie just ignores that and just like goes on. And at the end, it's like, and here you have it, happily ever after. And
Right.
women, of course, can have it all, even though we just showed you several disturbing ways they cannot.
That they cannot. And yeah, oh yeah, and it's very much like there are four you know, you've got to have the love life, the family life, the creative life.
Yeah.
Your creative relationship to your job, and the department store isn't enough. So you got to keep bringing up the photography, and what a great, she's got this poor best friend character
Oh my God.
whose whole job is just to keep saying, "Hey girl, you're a great photographer, and you should be doing that. You only took this as a temp job." But
I
meanwhile, there's the poor friend working at the department store too. But there's no question of like, what about you, honey? You're also stuck at the department store. I mean, but no, but her whole role is just to be there to say, "Hey, girl,
you got to
you
get
go."
that, enter that photo contest.
Enter the photo contest at the store.
You know, and of course it's like it's a supportive Black best friend who apparently has no life of her own.
Life other than
they never talk about her.
No. And her being again stuck at the store, which is how, you know, Christine Cameron winds up at the store because she, you know, needs a temp job, her friend helps her. Yes. But there's not a word about that she might also be trapped and maybe need a creative life and maybe need, you know, a better love. And there's nothing like that. No, that's the whole role. This is no, I forgot. And you're right. Is she the one Black character? I think she is. So
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it should be said, even if my student wrote a great paper about this. Kendall Richter, if you're out there, high five. Her paper was about how Hallmark movies, even when they try to have racial diversity, whiteness in the style of being that is whiteness is forever affirmed, right? So there might be people of different races cast in the roles, but the like attitudes and style of expression are white as the Hollywood snow.
That's correct. Yes, that is absolutely right.
So okay, let me bring in some threads from the other films. Okay.
It's exhausting. I'm tired talking about it. I don't know how it can be restful is what I don't know. It's so aggravating. I'm just like, I guess I'd get used to it. But.
Well, you know, what we haven't watched. Okay, back to how my particular choices kind of depart from the usual form is that it's usually about a woman who has a high-powered job in the city.
Yeah, that's the one I've read. I've read the cliche, and then she has to go to a small town and have a romance and have life-affirming relationships with townspeople.
Yes.
With her. Yeah.
And remember that her real place is in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
So these are not that. But I really do enjoy the Netflix series Virgin River, which is like a whole Netflix series of that. So if you're into it. And I enjoy it explicitly for the decor. I actually hate the lead actress. I forgot what her name is. She disturbs me, as most of them do. But I love the setting. Love the cabin. I love the like lighting. There are a little more shadows in that one, but it's 100% about like the home decor. It is. It's an extended advertisement for the good life. So anyway, in A Very Married Christmas with Jean Smart and Joe Mantegna, this one's even darker. And I don't even know if I love it. I was really surprised by it when I first saw it because it's so dark. Jean Smart leaves Joe Mantegna before Christmas. She's got this boyfriend, a younger boyfriend. And Joe Mantegna, her husband, keeps having these like Walter Mitty-esque fantasies about they're mostly dark. So most of his hallucinations are like worst case scenarios about his wife, like enjoying her new lover or laughing at him, you know, whatever. And they recur throughout the film and they're like really disturbing. And they have a young daughter. She's, I don't know, 8 or 9. And there are really angsty scenes about like, you know, where does the kid go for the holidays? There's a scene where the kid is asking Jean Smart, who has moved out by this time, like, Mommy, like, why aren't you here with us? And Jean Smart's like holding the child, shielding her face, crying through her like response. And it's like, oh my God, this is so upsetting.
Wow.
But what's interesting about that film is like Jean Smart leaves the nest. She's like really upfront about, look, it's like, it's not that I don't love you guys, I just need something more. Like she's bored, and being a
Mhm.
wife and mother is like not doing it for her. And so she
Mhm.
goes and she gets a job as a waitress. She's got her lover. She's got this like loft, which is great. It's got like a bathtub in the middle of the living room, and you're just like, you go. And of
God.
course, at the end, they go through all this stuff. And at the end, Jean Smart comes to the house dressed as Santa Claus. And what she has come to bring them is her presents. She is returning, right? But it's again so interesting because this other life that she's built for herself, as an independent working woman with a fabulous loft that a server could never
I
afford.
was about to say, how the hell? Where is she waiting tables? Wow.
That just like looks a lot better than coming home to that cramped house, and you're just like, why did you decide that?
Yeah.
So, but she does explain, but this one's a lot darker. And again, it's interesting that Joe Mantegna is pretty feminized in this, and it's kind of his emotional journey, which is
Yeah.
unusual, very unusual.
Yeah.
Of course, Jean is the one like returning, and she's in the Santa suit, so that's like a very masculine
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, A Very Merry Christmas has some interesting shit going on, and I think, I think it's so it's it's like the one who hallucinates is the one who is like working through what family. I don't know. It's just so interesting that it's a guy in this one. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that is odd. That's very odd. I can't.
Very,
It's Joe Mantegna is like the last person I'd think of as that person. Wow.
very much not a compelling actor. Like, really don't understand how
But
he
kind of respected slash macho. He's
in
kind of
this
got a
film he's
macho
like not,
quality.
he's like a loser in this
Yeah,
film.
he usually didn't he used to always be playing gangsters and stuff, but sort
Yeah,
of soulful gangsters. Yeah.
right. Far back in the day.
And
Yeah.
Manatee kind of people, or I don't know, just
Hi.
associated with kind of macho thoughtfulness. I don't know.
Yeah. He's awful in this, just beyond awful.
Oh,
Bumbling. So that's a weird one. And then there's Snow Globe, which is amazing. And Snow Globe in the function of the Snow Globe in Snow Globe is that there's a young woman. She's half Italian, half Cuban. So already interesting for a Christmas, not the usual ethnic makeup of a Christmas film. And she works in her family's deli, and her family's like up her butt. And she just wants like a nice, normal Christmas, read Protestant white Christmas.
yeah.
And so she visits someone, a mystery person, sends her a literal snow globe, which he puts by her bed at night, and she goes into the snow globe when she dreams, and she wakes up there, and the world of the snow globe is like Hallmark Channel world,
Yeah.
and everyone is like super white spiritually and literally, and they have these like perfect Christmases, and of course by the end that she ends up getting trapped in the snow globe and can't find her way out, and everyone starts to get on her nerves. So that's kind of an interesting like
Wow. Yeah.
expression of the complex relationship, the desire for the fantasy of whiteness, but also feeling imprisoned by it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I should have watched that one. See, I admit, I should have watched these, and I literally
They're
would
really hard to get.
couldn't get they're kind of hard to get,
Yeah.
and I could not get myself. I literally would be like, I can't make myself. And I was even gonna watch an extra one which filmed in my area. It's called Holiday Touchdown. It's a Hallmark. Is it a Bills love story for the Buffalo Bills? And
Oh.
yeah, and it was filmed in and around Buffalo areas, but a bunch of scenes were filmed in East Aurora, which is where my friend Sue lives. And so people I know, or at least one person I was actually in the movie, because of
How
course
to watch this?
the whole town became extras and stuff. And,
I'll watch
and
this.
again, I had my hand on the road. I'm like, okay, I think I should watch this. And then I just, because they film in this town and the Bills are apparently besotted by this town and are constantly like going to this town
In
because
real life or in the film?
in real life. It's
I
become
don't blame them. It's
whole
gorgeous.
thing, this
Yeah.
town. Like, I take art lessons at this little place where that now does the decorations for all Bill's parties. You can barely get in the door there right now. I just did an art lesson because there's so much. They're creating the world of Harry Potter at this Bill's party for the Bill's family. I know.
Okay, of course.
Hasn't gotten the memo about,
Right.
Potter World and J.K. Rowling being not quite so acceptable among a lot of people, but clearly it's for the Bills. So there's 9 million wands stacked up in boxes because every kid's gonna get their little wand given by the sorting end, and it's all these giant wood pieces that represent everything Harry Potter. So so it's all imbued into this little town that is very cute. It's a very aggressively adorable town that has an old 5 and dime and everything else. And so anyway, this all got shot there.
Yeah.
I just had such an adverse reaction that I could not. I was in a weakened state. I had a terrible, terrible flu, and I just could not get myself to watch that second one. I was just like, this is terrible. I feel really.
Oh no, Eileen.
Because I was trying to have that experience where you'd watch old movies, and the aggressive level of artifice was part of very Douglas Sirk, very like Christmas movie. Old time Christmas movie. White Christmas, the whole reason you watch it is because it's taken artifice to such a level, Technicolor to such a screaming palette that it becomes surreal and amazing, and you can let it run in the background and you can go, oh, I gotta watch the Sisters number. And you watch that for the 50 millionth time. So that was exactly what I was trying for, and somehow I just couldn't get it to be that way. I don't know. It's not. It's like it doesn't go quite far enough to put it in that. Certainly not in Cirque World,
Sure.
where there's an actual real color scheme to reckon with. I mean, really to reckon with. And it's imbued with shadows because, of course, Cirque is highly aware that he's exposing the shadowy nature of this supposedly enviable world.
Yes.
So I was really trying, and it was just intense. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. When you first watched these, did you just fall right into them?
No, I did it for Gene Smart, and then I managed to find the pleasure in whatever it is.
Because admittedly, it's not that easy to find things we liked about old movies, like the old melodramatic tropes that still seem alive to us.
Yes.
Kind of faded out of the culture. And there's only debased, very, very debased forms that sort of don't do what you want them to do. So, a lot of what you're saying that's interesting sounds like those things are still operating.
Very much. It's the woman's film 2.0. Like most of culture, it's shittier.
Yeah.
More about product placement.
Yeah.
And it gets, I don't know, thinner and thinner with fewer masters operating every day. So that's, but it is still speaking to, I think the reason they endure, I mean, yes, there's the fantasy, but I think what pulls people in is the conflict. That the conflicts are evergreen, like between the fantasy life you're supposed to want and what it feels like when you have it or when you don't. So I'm always interested in that, and I am also interested in products. Not that it's true. SHOE ADDICT'S CHRISTMAS. God, you're right. I mean, I do prefer the old school, more traditional Hallmark films because at least the small town setting has like greenery,
right.
like loveliness. A SHOE ADDICT'S CHRISTMAS is a brand of like mid 2000s corporate.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The trees are not trees. They are silver or whatever. And everyone lives in a loft with like white furniture.
Yes.
And the ornament balls are metallic and not warm, like, that's not my vibe. I don't know what that's about, but it's it's not comforting. Yeah, I don't know. I answered your question how I do it. I came for the biddies, I came for the I came for the women on the downslope of
On the downslope, on the downward slope. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that was admittedly, it was just shocking to see
Yeah,
being smart because from the side of wow, she's at a career peak in her 70s. So
never give up.
oh yeah, so to see her in that terribly fake wig that just doesn't look like any wow.
Yeah,
Um,
not
and
even
she's
a real hair color.
yeah, and she's actually really delivering like saving lines like
Yes.
that are bad, and finding business and a
Right.
whole attitude for her character that works, and you're like, God, she's nailing this thing. She's giving it whatever life there is you could give it, but holy God, and what she must have been thinking up against doing scene after scene with Christine Cameron.
Yeah, Candace Cameron. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Candace Cameron. Sorry, I keep saying Candace Cameron. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I think she's probably just like, you know what, my kids need to go to college.
Yeah. This pays X bills, so that's what I'm doing here. I know, but it's just like to play scenes with someone who's just in that white out state of that she seemed to be. Wow.
And like honestly, I wanted to research more in depth the relationship between Hallmark and Christianity because there was like a lot more mention of God in SHOE ADDICT'S CHRISTMAS than your
Mm.
standard Hallmark movie. And
Yeah.
Candace Cameron does wear a big cross at the end.
She got
And
the
I'm just
cross,
wondering,
she's wearing her mother's cross that she hadn't been wearing, and her father noticed. And she
yes.
said it doesn't go with things. And you don't know what that looks like. You'd only see, and it's the most tiny, unobtrusive little gold cross that would go with absolutely anything.
Everything.
You're just like, okay. That you'd feel like there was all this commentary packed into those lines. That was the one thing I thought, oh, that brought a whole world of she's rejecting her whole Christian upbringing here, and now she's re-embracing it, and they're just not going to say it. They're not going to spell the whole thing out. That was
Exactly.
weird. Yeah, yeah.
So I wondered, is that Candace Cameron personally? Was she,
Mhm.
maybe she like is the one who brought this script to Hallmark,
Yeah.
I don't know. Or is that part of is that like a niche market, not niche, but is that like a market that they're, actively trying to, I mean,
Right.
they are that market. They're one and the same. I don't know why I'm asking this question.
Because it has a strange fascination. If you're not in that world, to be hit with it
Yes.
is is somewhat shocking. It's just yeah. If you've gone into the secular world and then you're up against
Yeah.
these things, it's a little startling. It
It's
really
true. Yeah. You can't believe it. You're like, wait, are they? Oh, I guess they are.
I guess they are gonna say that, do that, do whatever that. Yeah. And God doesn't want us to be comfortable. It's just like
Whoa.
really? Then what's all this about in that case? Literally among the future thing, like she'll do certain things, and then her fairy godmother person will say, "Oh, well, now you're not getting this future," and the future is like a fabulous loft apartment. Because
Yes.
if she'd only taken a chance and done this one thing, that would have led to her own photography studio in the fabulous lost apartment with the fabulous husband, and everything else would have come as a result. But because she
Yeah.
didn't get that, she gets this perfectly other nice thing. Like nothing looks bad. That's the weird thing. Nothing. You know,
Yes. Exactly. All of the options look pretty
look
comfortable.
fine. They look all look out of store windows, everything. So you're just like, okay, but that's the fancier sure. The
Yeah.
ceilings are 20 feet higher. Sure, but the other thing wasn't so bad either, which seemed to be the plot line. It's easy
Yes.
to be fooled because everything seems fine. Yeah.
I think what's interesting is the shift from like, okay, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
where the hallucination becomes like a way that you reckon with morality,
Mhm,
and your
mhm.
own sort of like moral duty. And the Hallmark films and all the films I've named, ABC Family, whatever, are all
Yeah.
about personal fulfillment.
Yeah.
You there's not a lot about duty, even though these are women's films. There's like usually not like someone they're taking care of,
Mhm.
no like elderly parent, and it's like a conflict, like, oh, do I take care of my mom or do I get this? It's not that. It's like most of these women are pretty darn free to sort of like do what they please, and
Mhm.
it's that freedom of choice that burdens them, you
Mhm.
know. So I think that's interesting that the hallucination here is just like a way of working out, like, what will bring you fulfillment. And
Mm,
usually it's like it provides a mirror of like whatever it is you think you want, we'll give it to you for a little bit. And then you can
mm.
decide if do you really want that, you know?
Right. Uh-huh.
So that to me is just like very 21st century, that
Mm.
it's not about your relationship to doing good in your
Yeah, and
society.
it's certainly not a damning look at society. There's gonna be no apparently, there's not gonna be that.
There's
It's
no
never we're never really gonna do A Christmas Carol where it's like, you see Dickensian London, which, if you don't know, is terrible London, is nightmare London, and then see if you can salvage anything out of this nightmare vision of poverty and ruthless capitalism and all of that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine them even doing the set piece, even in the earliest scenes of a slum or anything. Is there ever a slum? I can't even imagine that there would be.
There's no slum. The closest that I got to seeing any mention or like hint of class is in Snow Globe with the Italian and Cuban family. They live in a
Yeah,
little apartment, and our protagonist is angry because her sister, who's pregnant, is going to move in with her husband because they can't afford their place. So all of a
yeah.
sudden, there's going to be like another three people, in this small, cramped apartment. So thus she retreats to Snow Globe
Too
Land.
Snow Globe Land. But that's getting so meta, there's meta ones where you can comment on
Exactly, because the Snow
Hallmark
Globe, of course, is the film.
is the God. Ah! Yeah, I might be too late for me to join this bandwagon. It's already in its Baroque phase. Oh.
Exactly.
And it's a shame because there's so many things when you describe it, there's so many things that I would respond to. And
Okay, if you don't vibe with it.
I don't know, it's just there's something I punish. There's just it's so visceral. It's just so if you're just not used to looking at it, it was just so intense.
I punish
I
you.
couldn't believe what was happening. I was just like, this can't be happening to my eyes. This can't be happening to my eyes for 2 hours. I can't.
But like you've seen commercials, like,
Yes, but they don't last 2 hours. It literally was like, I have to watch this whatever commercial for 2 hours. I have to. There's no getting out of it. And they're gonna just put a plot into this commercial.
yeah.
It's gonna go on and on. Yeah, it was very like that. It really was. And because I didn't recognize her, which is odd. I knew Modern Family. I just didn't recognize her. She
Or
seemed like
family ties.
oh, sorry?
Family ties.
Oh, it was Family Ties.
She was a kid. She was like a teenager.
Oh, I got her confused. Okay, because I was thinking she was oh, okay. So I wouldn't have known her then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Probably you were doing more interesting things in the 90s than
I mean,
watching.
it's not like I think I saw it a couple times, but I wouldn't have recognized the person grown up at all. Yeah. Okay. So this makes more sense. But she looks like she's in commercials.
Yes,
She very
complete.
much looks. So I feel like, oh my god, that's what I thought. Oh my god, they got someone who normally does commercials, and that explains the guy too. They're both commercials people.
You hit on something really important. Like the Hallmark protagonist is never like an A-list star, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not beautiful enough. They're TV pretty. Like as you say, it's like
Yeah.
they can do a detergent commercial and
Mhm.
that's like about the level.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know. I think, again, I think there's a certain like comfort of having them in your living room that would be disruptive if there was too much sex appeal or
Mm.
beauty or like charisma,
Yeah. Oh, I can see how, yeah, you couldn't do the charisma thing.
No.
Even Jean Smart is going right to the edge. It's like she just doesn't
God,
seem to belong. Ooh.
she does not belong. She just like pops out in literal and metaphorical ways, stylistic ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be, you're so right. They have to be part of the decor. They can't upstage the decor.
Right, right.
The
And
decor does not
yes,
that.
and she was perfect for matching the decor.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Sears catalog level, attractiveness.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, yes.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. You got it. You just don't like it. It's okay. You don't have to like it.
I didn't expect it to be this hard to do. I thought, I'm not gonna love this, but
Yeah.
wow, it was really like eye scraping, like.
Well, now I want to watch the Buffalo Bills one because I mean, think of the cross marketing.
Oh, I know. I mean, no, it's gonna have its fascinations. It's a real, but it was, the Shoe Addicts one is just available. You can
Yes.
rent that anywhere. It's like it must be a popular favorite. It's on every event. It's on Apple. It's on Amazon. It was on like 20 things.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere. But the others you have to sign up for the Hallmark Channel, which
Really,
is weird.
I think Snow Globe is available with like an add-on to Hulu. Maybe the add-on is the Hallmark
I
Channel.
think it was for me.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, which is odd because you say it wasn't even a Hallmark movie, but for some
Right.
reason.
Was not
They
ABC
bought they must have bought the catalog or something, but, yeah. So, yeah, and I just kept hesitating even though I could have just quit, but I'm like, "What if I forget to quit?" And somehow that seemed the worst thing. What if I forget and somehow I have the Hallmark Channel? No! No, I think I discovered my true snobbery, which I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was just like, "Wow, usually I
Oh,
don't have this. Usually I'm the one rebuking others for their stuff." So I was just like, "Wow, I think I found it, my bedrock snobbery. I can't do it."
a
So,
bridge
yeah,
too
so I
far.
feel very guilty. But and the ad for apparently there's already a holiday, what did I call it? The holiday touchdown. The
Uh-huh.
Chiefs already have done
Damn
one.
it.
So now there's gonna be apparently a series. So, yeah, now it's the Bills. And
Yeah.
but the ad is like, a typical football player in uniform up against a woman looking just adorable in a of course, a more petite size football uniform, and they're facing, they're crouched down about to, like, run
Oh.
at each other, and I just saw that and was like, I just can't do it. I can't. I feel bad. Oh my god.
There's like a type I didn't realize until sometimes until I tried to watch this, and then there's this Netflix comedy that I tried to watch and we failed. Nobody Wants This with Kristen
Uh-huh.
Bell. You don't realize how to say this. Any kind of minority, it understands the mainstream culture, right? So it's so weird what I'm about to say, but I didn't realize like how legibly heterosexual these things were. Like
Mm.
there's a style. And it's not everything. Not everything is heterosexual, but
Mhm.
man, these Hallmark movies and that Netflix comedy or romantic comedy, nobody wants this. They're heterosexual in a way that is like so aggressive and in your face and like upsetting. And I don't mean because a guy and a girl get together.
Yeah.
I mean because of just like the style of being in the world. It's like nothing is questioned, uh,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yes.
That's what it
Nothing
is. And it's so you don't realize it until like you realize, oh, I watch things that are very much not like this, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
then this comes into view and you're like, this is so aggressively straight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't it's like so
Well, it has a flattening quality, doesn't it? It's just like everything is pressed out of it because if you've only got one attitude toward everything that happens, everything that is, then
yes.
there's no again, it's there's no shadows, there's no layers, there's nothing. It's all just pressed flat and all presented in this flat front way that is disturbing. It's disturbing.
But that's it. It's so interesting. Yes, there are slippages though, like there's
Mm,
Gene Smart's weird presence. There's
yeah.
God doesn't want you to be
That's true. You're looking for the gaps, for the fissures. Yes, yes, yes. It's
and
true.
those are pleasurable. So I think you nailed it. I feel like we can stop when you say
I'm sorry, I may have
there are
childish
no
just
shadows.
made this much more torture. If I hadn't been so weakened by this savage flirting, I think I would have done better. But I just
Good up to this.
my god. Well, you know what? I've just been through this incredible ordeal of I'm working with this group called Berlin. The Berlin Critics Week is this prestigious thing that happens during the Berlin Film Festival, the Berlinale, and I had to just watch just I don't even know how many. It seemed like hundreds. It can't have been, but it was so many art films. And of course, a much more varied, you would say, world, but it's amazing how any kind of subset will give you an intensified bunch of cliches.
Yes.
That there's so many awful cliches to art films, like to any other, again, tight little subset that people, just subscribe to fiercely, that you're queuing them up over and over, and when you have to watch them one after, you just can't believe, like, how long can you have set this same pace, refuse to locate anything you're doing time wise, place wise, what's happening wise. The first half hour always has to be completely opaque and encoded. It's like a rule because it opposes, mainstream, especially Hollywood type film, any commercial filmmaking standards, which are all about where are we, what's happening, who is it, what's their deal. So it's the opposite. So I just went through this whole grueling thing of just force feeding myself endless art movies and just going, I'm going out of my goddamn mind here. Because you can just tell there's a captive audience that loves this stuff and is uncritical of it because it just stands for art film, and that must mean it's good, and that must mean it's meaningful. And I'm just like, like there weren't good. Of course, there were good ones, but there were also just a million terrible ones. So then to flip to go to, okay, now I'm going to force feed myself Hallmark and made for TV Christmas movies, and I was just too weakened down.
Yeah.
So I regret it. I regret it. I apologize. I will be better next time.
You know what? Life is short, and you don't need to spend it watching Hallmark movies.
That's very reassuring.
You went through this art movie crucible. Like, it's all right.
Thank you.
I'll watch them for the both of us.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you can always report to me on any really great one that I really is a must see, and maybe I'll try again.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're calling this a very TV Christmas.
I think we should call it No Shadows.
And No Shadow. Maybe we'll add No Shadows, a very TV Christmas. And we thank you, dear listeners. And of course, triple thanks to our subscribers who keep us in spike heels and delusions. That was Dolores' invention. That was excellent. If you're not a subscriber yet, but you like what you hear, please consider signing up with Patreon for all the Filmsuck content instead of just the half that's available to the public. And it's also now available to view on YouTube, including this episode. Yeehaw! You can follow News of the Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Join us in 2 weeks for more fabulous Filmsuck conversation. And until then, we wish you happy viewing.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, peoples. Bye now.
Bye.